These objects were made for my host figures and relic series, and they were kind of made with inspiration from objects that you see in museums and anthropology collections. And today I'm going to make a very quick relics object. In order to make my relics series, I've collected up a collection of rubbish. The reason that I use this stuff, the material that we throw away in my sculptures, is because I want to think about and talk about the things that will remain from our society and whether we're happy with it. So by making them into anthropological-like objects, they kind of talk about things that we value and things that mean something to us, but then because they're rubbish, it kind of questions whether we want to be remembered by this stuff. So non-biodegradable plastic, for example. So I'm just going to select some stuff out of my box of treasure here that might be useful for this sculpture, and then I'm going to try and put it together. And I've also saved this fairly frightening looking thing already. It's a face mask sheet. They're very popular, single use though, so they go straight in the bin afterwards. So a big problem in terms of waste, but I think quite an interesting object, so I'm going to try and make something sculptural with this. Okay, so the next thing I will do is look for some inspiration. So because I'm interested in these anthropological museum objects, I do visit museums, I take pictures, I do little sketches, and I write down ideas, thinking about what the objects were used for, what they meant to those societies and what they might mean if they're kind of put in our society. Some quite interesting looking stuff in here, but I think we'll go for this one, which is a Mexican life and death figure. So now I have a range of materials that I'm going to use. I'm going to start constructing. I'm going to have to be very quick because I don't usually only take 5 minutes. So I'm adding some sticky fixes here. I'm going to first make some kind of like wing-like things out of some plastic straws. You see recycled straws here. They are not very good for the environment, as we know. I'm gladly being phased out, but let's just make something here. And I'm also using this knitting that you get things like fruit in, because that's also not great for the environment. But it is kind of interesting as a material. It comes in different colours, and it's malleable, like it can be shaped and used in different ways, which I do like. So, I really don't know how well these are going to stick to each other, so it's a bit of trial and error, but I tend to photograph things and then, make things and then photograph them, so in many ways it doesn't really matter how long they last, as long as they just have to last kind of long enough for me to press that shutter, which is pretty handy in this challenge, I think, because these are not going to be built to last. If I can get the damn sticky fix off. Right, that's one down. I'm going to get the wings on. My figure will just need a face, as I mentioned before. I have this disposable face mask sheet that is going to be the face of my angel-like relic. So, okay, feeling pretty good about that. We have things on here. Now I just need to add in build up some height here, so giving it a bit of a face structure for this to stick onto. And there we go. Not totally happy with that, but I suspect if I try and change, oh no, it's changed a bit. There we go. One angel-ish figure.